Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to another episode of Top Tier Talk. Nothing's changed this week. There's refereeing debates, and some of our teams have won and lost. Amir, unfortunately, haven't played yet, so we decided. But Chavez, start with you. Early kickoff on Saturday. Man United 2, Everton 0.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same font, but just a different week. We played poor and we won the game. And that's been like the theme of this season. I mean, if you look at our goal difference, it's the first indicator of something's not right. I feel like we're a bit of an anomaly in this league table. There are teams below us and above us that have a higher goal difference. Some of the teams above us have a, and that's like the easiest indicator that we are just getting by games right now. We're cruising to not cruising, but like, just finding a way. And that's what we've done this season. And it's a bit of like this and that with whether it's because of injuries and what's the strategy. But I feel like it's a bit annoying that a few players out and this is what happens. In the game itself, Rashford played a bit better. After all the complaints about him, he's a bit better this week. And same
No, I
with
saw a
Bruno.
whole compilation of him playing crap until they showed the penalty in all the worst moments of Rashford. It was like 3 minutes long on Twitter.
Yeah, no, there is. There's always a compilation on Rashford, but for his standard, because there are games where Rashford will generally put out like 10 minutes worth of mistakes. So today was probably less than that game. Aside from that, Garnacho was the main reason. I mean, in both games, Garnacho is the reason. I think even in the first game, Everton, Rashford missed a pen, and Garnacho, if he had not scored that goal, the goal of the season, then we might have struggled. And again, this game, he just ran at defenders and won his penalties. I think Everton have themselves to blame, really, because they could have scored about 6 chances. And it was kind of shown they have Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's 21 games without a Premier League goal. I mean, they've got a bit of form lost on the striker department. On our part, it's just the same old. Onana's improved, I guess. He makes saves now, and that's a positive. Johnny Evans got a standing ovation. He's been very important to us this season. I think our fans will remember him for a long time because he's won a league with us. He's done all of this, gone away and come back, and he's helping us out when we need it. Diego Dalot, I think the real positive of this season, there'll be two takeaways. One is Kobe Minu breaking through, which was kind of expected, and the big one is I think Diego Dalot. He is physically, mentally, quality-wise, everything. He's improved. He's so good now, and he's consistent. He's one of the rare players who makes no mistakes in our team or minimal. And it's so good to see he's progressed. And Ronaldo was right about him. Ronaldo did say this a couple of years ago that if he applies himself, he will get there. So good to see from him.
So, obviously, coming towards the end of the season, you touched on people that you know about sacking Ten Hag. Well, where do you sit on that? Obviously, you've got the win. I know this. I've got a feeling it won't change weekly, but are you still obviously
No,
in, out? Are you obviously after your rant
no,
last
Shaking it all
week?
about.
yeah.
Mm.
I still like to see get him to see out his contract because I personally don't know a manager who's going to change things for us tomorrow. I don't think there's one out there. Maybe if like a Pep Guardiola became available, or Matt Busby came back from the dead,
Jurgen?
or someone who could really guarantee Jurgen Klopp. Clearly, those managers are not
There's
available.
another
So
Jose stint, Mourinho stint.
no, that was the old Jose. This one I don't think would ever come back. And even if he did, it's too messy because you go for one style of football, one approach, and then suddenly you change it.
Quite
So
similar, isn't it?
no,
It's all defensive, isn't it? And then just scraping wins. You guys complained about him not playing well. What's it's not much.
yeah, I don't know. The ball playing players that, well, I feel like Lissandro Martinez, these types of players, I don't think they'd fit with Mourinho. But I mean, you'd have to see. I don't think we should sack him. But I think the vibe I get from this club is that it's already done. Like Ten Hag's just sort of seeing out his days, and we'll get Graham Potter in next. I really do think Graham Potter will be. Like, I don't want this by any means, but I think Graham Potter will be the next manager. And obviously, no disrespect to Potter, I think he's a fantastic coach, but the job will just simply be too big for him. And within about 5 weeks, people will be Potter out. It's easier for people to be Potter out than it was to be Ten Hag out, and it's even easier. Well, it's even worse considering Oli out was more difficult for United fans. So this one will be easy. People want Potter out very quickly. The patience will be much thinner, and that's going to happen for the next manager and the one after that. Patience grows thinner as Man City win more trophies and Man United win nothing.
So just
You
oh god, I've got like a final question to go on a minute. Whatever.
I've got obviously the I don't know if you watched the overlap interview came out with Ollie
Hmm.
and everyone. He talked about a few players he was after. I mean, he pushed for Erling Haaland for 20 million. Jude Bellingham came to the club and a load of legends saw him, etc. Like, how does that make you feel that he actually was pushing for these? Like, they're probably like the world's best right now, aren't they? And
Yeah.
unfortunately, United didn't have to pull enough to get them. Like,
Yeah, for me, all that video, the whole thing was really satisfying because it's basically everything I said. I mean, I said at the start that Oli would never come out and say he didn't want Ronaldo, and he basically said it in such a nice way that while it felt right to get Ronaldo then, it wasn't the right decision for the club or for Ronaldo. And in a way, he's basically saying it wasn't the right decision. So that was one thing. The second, the Haaland thing, proof. Third thing, he said something that other managers have also implied. You don't get complete control over the team that gets played. I mean, he said when Ronaldo didn't play one game, you've got Fergie on the phone, you've got Ronaldo upset. There's a lot of outside influences at Man United. And it's a bit annoying to see that because why can't we just invest in everything? If we're investing in a manager, let's invest in everything about him. And he kind of implied towards everything. And the recruitment thing is disgusting. That's the one thing I was not happy about because as much as, again, it proves things, I mean, Haaland would, from the way he said it, Haaland
20
was our player.
million release
Yeah.
clause. Mental.
Haaland would have come. There was no question about it. We were going to get Haaland, and it wasn't like Haaland would check us out and say no. The second dagger in the heart was Jude Bellingham came to Old Trafford. He came to our training ground, and we all knew this. This was on the internet. We had Sir Alex in. We had legends in that day. I thought Bellingham. He did give the vibe that Ollie said about being a mature 17-year-old, knowing what he wants. But I didn't know Bellingham actually considered it to the level where he said, "I want minutes," and we said no. Like Bellingham said, "I just want first team minutes," which is a very clever thing, the right thing for him to say. And we didn't confirm or guarantee him that we could do that. And look where he is now. So it's a dagger, those two players. And then I think Diego Forlan suggested Facundo Pellistri as an alternative option to someone like Erling Haaland. And we went down that route and look where Pellistri is now.
I think there's always going to be players like that, though. Obviously, missed opportunities or.
No, but Dan Haaland is a beast.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not like, but there's always going to be like that Arsene Wenger almost Arsenal team, like that would have been a super team. There's always going to like whether he had like Leo and stuff like that. Like it's going to be players that Chelsea have missed out on.
A player coming to your training ground, Dan, especially when the media were recording it as well. He was famous then. We had people in to get him, and we couldn't offer him minutes. It's disgusting. And the Haaland one is unacceptable because I can't believe people actually looked at Haaland and said, nah. Because he said that. They literally said that to him. 20 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he went, by the way, he went up to 60 million and we could have still got him. Like, we generally were in with Haaland. And because of the Norwegian link.
No, you should have got him, like, Norwegian, he managed him as well. Like, it made so much sense. Like, this
is what I mean. When you invest in a manager, you invest in at least some of their thoughts.
Who are your strikers at the minute?
Martial.
So obviously he paid.
He's a part-time.
Yeah. But I was thinking of in terms of strikers, or I know Haaland's not a winger, but obviously you could put Rashford through the middle. I know he's sort of like a cannibal. But no, but I was going to say in terms of, I was thinking the amount of money that you spent on players, or like getting Ibra in, or like the money that you would have spent on Ibra and players like that, you could have spent that 20 million. Like
on a DM.
I was thinking more on Haaland, like you in terms of nearly or like has been or
yeah.
close.
I mean, for every manager, Dan, there's always that one thing where Mourinho, we can all agree his strength was defense. He wanted Maguire that year. We didn't get Maguire. Mourinho gets sacked. Oli, the whole of his tenure needed a DM. He kept playing McFred because there was no other players that really showed that level of like passion in midfield to fight for the badge. And unfortunately, that didn't work out because we didn't get that player. Then Oli also suffered because Cavani was so perfect for us. And he said it, Ronaldo coming in destroyed Cavani. What happened to Cavani after that? We had a system, we had a press, and I'm not blaming Ronaldo. Ronaldo is so good that individually, he did so good that season that it kind of just papered the cracks. He's incredible. He could do it himself, which he did, by the way. He did by himself win us games. But ultimately, the long-term plan wasn't something that included Ronaldo. So yeah, every manager will have a memory of like, if they got this, maybe things would have been different.
We had the opportunity to sign Ronaldo back before you. Do you remember? It was like one step. So
yeah.
I was going to say.
By the way, I think if Ronaldo went to Man City that year, that would have been disgusting for City. I think he would have scored a lot more goals. It would have benefited City.
They wouldn't have got Haaland either, would they?
Maybe, and then we would have probably continued our project with Oli, who would have stayed. And yeah, who knows?
I was going to say,
parallel universe, isn't it?
Yeah, what ifs?
Yeah.
I was going. My final point. I saw a meme on Twitter. You know that dude sweating with the red buttons in front of him. It was one of them.
Oh yeah.
And it was like Man United fans, and it said obviously Liverpool's 20th league title, Man City doing the 4-peat, or Arsenal winning their first title in whatever it is, 20 years. Like as a United fan, where would you rank those three, or which one would you prefer, or which one would you? Where'd you sit on?
Who would you rather win the league? Like 1 to 3.
I've got to ask you. And Amir as well. Obviously, it's not as key for you.
Okay.
Those three,
I think this is easy.
Who's you most likely to like?
Yeah, it's just. Okay, Man City first, then it will be Arsenal, then Liverpool.
So that's the order you'd want them to win it in. You'd rather City win the league over
I don't want anything down, but yeah,
Okay,
that's the
okay.
least. That's the
That's
most I can
strange coming
tolerate.
from you, man. I
The
thought
least
you'd go
threatening.
Arsenal first. For me, it would be Liverpool to win the league, and then Man City second, then Arsenal.
I'm surprised
6
Chavez didn't
feet
put
under
Arsenal
down there.
last, just because Elliot won't shut up for like 10 years.
No, it's not that, but it's about the
Elliot doesn't
history.
He's
know how to
smirking. He
win.
knows. He knows.
He doesn't know how to win. He's not seen them win for a long time, so he doesn't. I don't know how he will process
We've won
it.
FA Cups.
The Liverpool thing's the last thing we want because we're in a competition directly with them for like who's on top of trophies. Man City don't care. Like the fans are just whatever. And then it's
win it, it could be
corruption.
unbelievable.
Ultimately, you can just say anything, just you're corrupt.
If we win it
Nothing
though, as well,
better
to be fair,
to win
if
it.
we win it, Arteta's got the same amount of prems as Klopp. Saliba's got the same amount of prems as Van Dijk. Like, goes on.
I suppose that is a
Well,
nice.
if we win it, Ten Hag's got the same amount of trophies as Klopp and Van Dijk.
That's what I'm saying. But this is what I'm
Got more
saying. This is what I
preference.
wanted to get onto about Liverpool, about how they're kind of bigged up to be this unbelievable beat like
Thomas
side. But
Partey. He's got more
if
Premier
a
League medals
single
than Gerrard.
team like other than City wins the Prem, they've basically got the same amount as Klopp. Like he's not the best.
I was going to
Big
suggest a
overshadow
nice
that.
little nice segue on to Aaron Ramsdale's massive error. And but Amir Kai Havertz, as you touched on before, 8 goals this season.
Well, as I said, he does the same for Chelsea. Got 8 goals, and we complained and got rid
March
of him. So
Madness.
60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scored again, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Take it away.
I mean, if that's he celebrates mediocrity and a 60 million player only not even getting double digits goals, fair enough. Then that's the standard.
Do you not think Kai Havertz has won him it because he's currently at a club in a title race while your club is I don't know where you are.
Mid-table
title
race.
in which they won't win because we said the same last season. Reece Nelson had his moment and it was forgotten now.
He's got his magic ball out.
He's
got
playing
his
European
magic ball
football.
out. He's like,
That's
let me see what
fine,
happens
innit?
with
I
Arsenal's
don't
future.
think- I think we're much better without Havertz, to be honest with you, and I don't want
Better? You've gone down in the league.
We're the same. We're similar, or maybe one below, but like
So you're
I wouldn't
worse.
want Havertz.
They're worse, yeah. Doesn't matter if you're one or.
I think we've done very well to sell him for 60 million. To be honest with you,
Do you think you'll have do you think any player in your squad will score in the Champions League final for you?
100%, definitely. Before Arsenal, I think we'll reach another
100%.
final. Yeah,
Before
I
Arsenal?
think we'll reach another final before Arsenal.
FA Cup.
100%. No.
Let him
Champions
talk
League.
about Arsenal. He's chomping
Yeah.
at the bit.
Go on, Al.
Yeah,
Go on,
we've been-
take it away. 2-1 against Brentford. The bees.
Chomping
Put to
at
the
the bit.
sword.
Oh, what a stressful game, man. That was getting on my nerves because it's just it was a mistake from Ramsdale. Yeah, it's annoying because obviously when you see that sort of pass go back to him, you're thinking he's got all the time in the world, but actually he doesn't. Wiss is a fucking pacey bastard, and he came up and made him suffer. To be fair, for the first 40 minutes, before that, I think we were actually playing Brentford off the park. It's just in the second half that we decided to actually boost us like an extra 10 yards up the pitch that I think kind of worried Brentford a bit, kind of changed our tactics in the second half. But in the first half, I think we controlled the game fantastically. I think Ben White masterclass, Declan Rice masterclass, Odegaard masterclass, and Amir, you might hate you're always going to hate me for saying this, but Havertz masterclass as well.
Fair enough if that's what you think, mate.
Yeah, no. And this is what I was going to get onto because if you just watch the game as well, like, for example, as I say, Wissa, he's a pacey bastard. Tony's he's a good number 9. He's an example of what you want as a striker. They've got good players in their team, Jensen and number 8. And they're quite hard to break down, and they're always good on the counter. Like if we make a single mistake, they're going to absolutely run us ragged down the line, or give it to the potentials, and then they'll find a little slot. And they nearly did it again. They nearly scored, I think, their second goal in like the 70th minute. It kind of gave me a squeaky bum time. But we've been clutch for the past year. We've been clutch Arsenal. We've always scored in like the 86th to 90th minute, and today it was a masterclass from Benjamin White, Benny Blanco, straight to Kai Havertz's head, and I was celebrating around the room. I was loving life. Do you know what? Okay. But,
you're in the market for a number 9. Say you get your number 9 if it's Osimhen or Tony. Who does he displace out of this Arsenal 11?
It's a very good question, and I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's one of them ones where I know because when we played Brentford, they subbed Jorginho off, put Havertz where basically put Declan Rice where Jorginho was, and put Havertz in the 8, and then put Jesus up top. It could be one of them where we have like a trouble between Jesus and if, for example, if we buy Tony or Osimhen, one of them two. So as you said, Chavez, is a good problem to have, but yeah, like I've seen all over Twitter when people were talking about how that Havertz should have been sent off or something like that and everything like that. And I'm happy to talk about it. It's all well and good having like these people say yes, okay, let's say he died, and okay, he gets sent off, no problem. That's fine. I'm happy to hold my hands up and say maybe he should have got sent off. That's fine. However, if you go back and trace these like penalty claims that we've had, for example, then that kind of rules out and goes to us for a 2 or 3-1, and we could have had a penalty shout. We could like reel it back to Gabriel when he got pulled down by that, what's his name, Lewis Potter in the box. He literally pulled his shirt down and he went down. That's given for another team any day. And then Trossard, for example, the ball was flagged in, and then so he literally put his hand around him and pulled him back. So another penalty shout again. There was a load of penalty shouts in that game, but as I say, we kept our heads. Ramsdale, although he had made a mistake, I think he made a fantastic few other saves to make up for it.
That one for Tony when Tony picked up the ball in the halfway line and shot. That was a good save.
That's what I'm saying. He made up for the mistake. So I'm pretty so no
goal of the
complaints.
season, I think, if that went in.
I agree. Yeah, it was a great shot. So Ramsdale done well to do it. And also when there was a ball that flicked into the box and someone headed it, I'm not sure who it was, but then he flicks over the bar. Great save. So yeah, and obviously we were hoping for a draw from Man City Liverpool, and it was. Liverpool fans crying all over Twitter, where Doku red, it should have been a penalty. Shut up.
Was it a pen?
Love to see it.
Let's go on to that. Do you not think it was a pen?
No,
it's not a penalty.
I think it is. But I can understand why you say it's not.
Like a De Jong. If you remember the 2010 World Cup, it was the De Jong.
It's not De Jong.
It's not as bad as that. But
Yeah,
the thing that swayed it for me on the first watch, obviously people were talking about the ball hitting McAllister's arm as well afterwards. Therefore, it's like, well,
two wrongs don't make a right.
It hits his hand before it hits him, and Doku's also won the ball
but
first.
not in a penalty way though. Dan, the thing that swayed me was, why is Doku doing that in the box? I think he should be penalised for that.
I think he was trying to judge the ball, and I think he didn't realise it'd take that extra bounce. So he tried to kind of control it with his foot, and it obviously went straight to McAllister.
That's the thing. I think the fact that he touched the ball is what the referee gave no penalty as an on-field decision. He touched the ball first. But
VAR down.
Looked at that. He's touched the ball first. Referee's given a no. There's not enough conclusive thing of
to say overturn.
Okay.
Then that's what.
But if he had given it, Dan, if he'd given it,
it would have stayed. If he'd have given it, it'd have stayed.
Yeah,
because it wasn't given, it was no penalty.
It's one of them ones where VAR. It's not that. Yeah, as you say, conclusive to overturn.
If it would have been higher up and it would have been in his face, however, I reckon that would have been given.
I agree.
But because it was
the on Sky Sports Day, I think they had this. I don't know what there's a specific name, but they had a predictor on the probability of winning the league, and they put Arsenal as only 19%. Do you agree with this? And why do you think Arsenal's so much lower than
90?
19.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you the answer to that.
Oh no. Let me answer that as well. The reason why is because they're taking a look at our fixture list, and we've got a tough fixture list compared to the other two. That's why.
No, you do.
That's why.
Old Trafford, second last day of the
we've got Tottenham
season.
away, Old Trafford away. We've also got Wolves away. Wolves is very hard to go to.
Man City as well. You just keep
Man City away. We've got a lot of teams to play. Brighton away. I know they're obviously.
But could that work in your favour? Because last season you bottled it against an easier run, if that makes sense.
I understand where you're coming from.
In your favour, it's the other way around.
You could be right, but I think, to be fair, I know obviously we're talking about the Prem at the moment, but all focus is on tomorrow's game, where it's coming back to the Emirates, and we're going to smoke Porto 6-0. Come on.
We'll talk about. I was going to ask about the Liverpool game, because I think that game's relevant to Arsenal fans as well.
Yeah, 100%. We're top of the league now. Goal difference.
There was a sense of pride amongst your fan base right now, because that yesterday, two incredible teams went pound for pound with each other, and Arsenal come out on top from that. Are you proud of your players? Because I feel like you've come a long, long way now. Looking at that and being able to be, on top of that for now is incredible. I thought that was a great game. Even though both teams have deficiencies, that was just you guys are ahead of that.
Yeah, two giants head to head, and it came out as a draw, and we're still on top. Goal difference. It just goes to show that, regardless of how people obviously thought of us at the start of, maybe even if you came back to December, people obviously say, oh, they're going to do it last year and bottle it and everything like that. That's fine. You're more than welcome to think that. But people, all of a sudden now it's 10 games left. It's 10 finals, and we're still considered to be in this kind of group, this little huddle of the title race. And yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Two giants, and obviously we still got to play one of the giants away. Which, if to be fair, I just want to say something. If we play the Man City that played Liverpool just gone, I reckon we'll win.
You would beat them. Yeah. That's what I'm worried about as well. I think Arsenal could do a massive job.
If they play like they did against Liverpool, because I don't think they played well at all against Liverpool.
What's the issue of Man City compared to last season, do you guys think? Because they obviously don't seem as...
I think it's almost like yeah, exactly, like Tyson Fury when when he won the the world titles. It's like, well, I've worked so hard for that goal. I've done it now. Like, well,
Yeah.
it's almost
I feel like this is
it's like they tried
Pep's
so hard
worst
for
Man
the
City.
UCL. But it's like they tried so hard for the UCL, come close semis, obviously lost the final to Chelsea.
They're still in the Champions
And-
League, so you don't know.
Yeah, and then it's like they've won the treble, or they won
FA
the
Cup as well,
quadruple, they
you
won
can still do
everything.
you can still
And
do
then
another
it's like now they're just, do you know what I mean? I think it's something like that. It's like they've done
Complacency,
everything.
maybe.
Obviously, there was talk of Pep leaving as well. I don't know whether that was obviously. I don't know.
Maybe it's the Chargers coming.
Yeah.
You never know internally.
Guilt, guilt on the
Guilt.
bench.
They're just
They don't
giving
want
out
to
points.
score
They're just
another
dishing out
goal
points
because
now.
it'll be another breach, right?
Yeah. Honestly, this is
Yeah.
probably Pep's worst Man City. Not his worst, but it's up there. And that's such is his standard for while he's been here.
But
Yeah.
I also wanted
I
to say
think
as
you
well.
could destroy them. Like, I've
No,
got
that's
one
what I'm
step
saying.
further, and
Yeah,
I
I
could
was
say you
gonna
could
say-
win 3-4 0.
I was going to say, while
I
we're
don't
on the
know.
topic, shall we do a City Arsenal combined current as you are now combined 11?
Yeah, let's do it.
But I just wanted to say, before we do, I think this title race has been the most exciting title race since a while.
Last
in my
season, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Last season was so exciting.
No, it's been good. Oh, it needs to continue to be good now. It can't just be like one team just starts winning.
Well, it's one mistake, one draw, or anything like that.
Yeah, but there's three
It's-
teams in it. So if one team slips up, then it's still a two. It's still two. But and then again, you've got to
Yeah.
play each other. They're still losable games. So even if, for example,
Yeah.
City beat you and go what 2 points clear, they go 2 points clear. 1 point.
We're
clear.
1 point ahead of them at the moment, so yeah, they'd go.
They go 2 points
They'd go.
clear. Then they still could easily
Yeah.
lose. Get my words out. City
Well,
lose
yes.
to Spurs all the time.
Spurs have the control to ruin one of them.
Yeah,
I
should we
still
do?
think you've got to give Liverpool the most prop out of the three teams. They've got the most players
Yeah,
out. I
most
think
players
they've
are.
got
Yeah.
the most,
That's
they would-
football.
Yeah, I agree, but I just can't stand Liverpool fans. That's all. I hate
I
them.
suppose yeah. Right, combined 11. City Arsenal coming up on I'm guessing it's Sunday, isn't it? So
Yeah.
31st of March. So yeah,
Yeah.
20 days away.
well,
Like,
Edison's better than Ryan.
free hits out.
What are we doing? Are we doing overall?
now current as you are now.
Season, right?
Oh, okay, if you had a game tomorrow, who'd you
Right,
pick?
tomorrow. Yeah, right.
If it was this week,
No, what? Stop it, Edison.
No,
Well,
I agree.
I was gonna say Raya. I was gonna
say
Raya.
Ryan's even okay.
If
Doesn't
you
concede
said
shots.
you said if he
Oh,
if he goes in
you'd
tomorrow-
be a good keeper. You'd be a good keeper for Arsenal. You don't concede a shot.
trying to read
There we
it.
go. Right back.
Walker's
Still gotta be
still-
calm.
Kyle Walker.
It's gotta be
Kyle Walker.
I was thinking about Ben White. Walker did have a
No, he
stink
gets it. He's
check.
an honourable shout.
Centre
Well,
back.
Well, he's the only other shout.
Centre back, who we
He's
going
an
for?
honourable shout. Saliba and Gabriel.
Oh, I was thinking, is it an Arsenal centre back pairing?
I actually
Yes,
think they'd get
yes.
both. They probably do.
I
I
think they
think-
get both as well.
I
Yeah,
think, yeah.
Saliba and Gabriel have been
It's a clean
unstoppable.
sweep. It's a clean sweep. Left back.
It's not Zinni.
Ake.
It's going,
It's
yeah.
gotta be Ake. Ake over
Yeah.
Kirill.
Kivior's only just stepped
Yeah.
up to left
Yeah, it's
back,
got to
so
be Ake in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Midfield,
Yeah.
Rice and
Yeah.
Rodri.
Declan Rice gets
Probably do
straight
Rice
in there.
and Rodri, yeah.
It's got to be
Rice
Rice
and
and Rodri.
And to,
And
Attackers.
KDB.
KDB.
KDB still, yeah.
Why are you looking at that? It's just KDB.
No,
He
you're
said
doing
based
too
on
much
tomorrow.
now. We're giving you a lot, man. Just don't do that.
It's just
Don't
come
do
back-
that.
Yeah. Chill out.
Right.
Yeah, Saka, Foden,
the
Haaland
front,
to Saka.
yeah, the front three
Yeah,
answers
Saka,
itself.
Foden,
I think, yeah,
Haaland,
I think
yeah.
that was probably the easiest one we've done.
It was
I think
still
that's
Man
got to
City
be.
gets 6-5 or 6.
That's got to be the first one where we pretty much all agree.
Manager? Arteta?
Pep.
Get them back in
Pep.
together. Get Pep coaching and Arteta is number two.
Legally Arteta. No, but Arteta's also involved.
Legal Pep.
Loophole.
Let's what's your assistant manager called? Get him in.
I can't remember what his
They
name
get
is.
their
He's a Spanish
set
guy.
piece coach. Their
Spanish
set
set
piece
piece coach. I suppose
Yeah.
Amir, moving on to no, you touched on Porto, didn't you? Obviously, you said
Yeah,
Yeah.
quickly go on that.
Go
What do
on,
Arsenal
Amir.
need to do tomorrow?
Smoke him. 4-5-0. I want nothing less.
Nah, big up Porto, innit? I think Porto could snatch it. I want an upset. I think there's going to be an upset in this Champions League. Still.
I don't. I think the atmosphere of a game has the biggest impact. When we went to Porto, I
There's a
think their
high pressure
crowd.
game.
Yes, I don't care.
People
I
start
don't care. I
shaking,
think
people start
I
shaking
think
through
the
games.
crowd is going to be
Yeah.
unbelievable tomorrow. It's going to be so good. It's going to be. I can't wait for it. Honestly, it could even be better than what we experienced at Brentford when we scored that second goal. So I'm looking forward to it.
I suppose Amir, moving on to
Yeah,
you.
let's do it.
Your game is in an
What's
hour and
funny?
29 minutes. Chelsea.
I
guess
love how you
Chelsea-
compared to Brentford for like a good moment.
The thing is, hold on. Before we get onto it, when
No, you've done
Rashford
it
scored
now. You've
against
done it
Everton,
now.
the worst celebrations by your crowd ever. It's like, yay!
The crowd are fed up. Half of them don't want Ten Hag.
Yeah, they don't. Half of them don't want to be there. I
Oh,
suppose.
you,
It's a
yes,
10,
don't you judge
no
me
cap.
about my celebrations. I celebrate who I want.
All right,
Yeah,
so
that's-
Amir, your game kicks off in an hour and 28 minutes now. versus
think the
Newcastle.
team's not out for me to react to, but yeah, if
Two
we win
bums.
tonight, we go from 11th to 11th, so it'll be a big jump for us in the league table. Um,
All from Greece.
I don't have too much hope for Poch. I think if we snatch a draw, I'll be quite gassed. But other than that, yeah, we'll see what happens. We're at home. I mean, yeah, go on, hands
Go on,
up.
Is that what you
Sorry.
say? So, are you at home? Did you say sorry?
Yeah, we're at home. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say if it's Newcastle, you could be facing a loss, but
Right, the game's an hour and a half. Mystic Meg. Let's put the podcast is going to be out tomorrow, but this is recorded obviously Monday night.
1-0.
Score predictions.
well, I
always
called
back
1-1
Chelsea,
Liverpool
so
City,
right.
didn't I? Because I'm a fucking genius. So I'm gonna call 2-1 Chelsea tonight.
Oh wow.
2-2.
Yeah, Newcastle's form's
2-2.
terrible.
Kieran Trippier is going
1-0,
to stink.
1-0, 1-0.
And you three are going to need to give me permission for this. So ideally, please give me permission. But to end on, we are going to end on the world's least breaking or surprising news that's happened in the world of football this week. Watford have sacked yet another manager. It's
Well, lasted a bit longer than the rest.
it did last a bit longer than the rest of them. It must
Your club's finished. I'll be
15,
honest. Your
16
club's
months.
so finished.
Shevetsky is one for you.
relegated as well,
Tom
man.
Cleverley is now our manager. So if anyone's in
Yeah.
their 30s, 40s, wanting to feel old, Tom Cleverley is now a manager. Do I think it was the right decision? The football wasn't great.
It never will be.
Could I see? No, our players are terrible. And this is the thing. It's the same as Chavez said. It's like you sacked Ten Hag, then what? The players aren't there. Obviously, I'm not
Yeah.
comparing the ability of players.
Your
But do you know
owners
what I
are the
mean?
worst owners, I think, in football. Honestly,
No, I
like,
think
they,
they
they-
are worse than the
also-
Glazers.
yeah,
But
I think they're
also,
terrible.
I
They're
will go
so
back
bad.
to this point of the Watford job is the best job in football, and I will say that every time we sack a manager, and I will stick with it. Purely with the fact of, well, you come into Watford and you get sacked, big whoop. It's not a blot on your record because you've been sacked by the club that sacks everyone. You don't do well, you get sacked. You've got poor players. Poor me, get pelted from here. But if you don't get sacked by Watford, you've got to be a good manager. Like it's a win-win. You either get recognised as a good manager in English football, Championship's still a hard league, or the Prem, obviously, if when we get back there in 5 years' time.
/when, cheeky
Or-
bastard.
I don't know at this point. It might be on a League One tour. Only
League
7
One,
points,
yeah.
7 points off
Yeah.
relegation. Or you get sacked by them. It's not a blot on your record, and you end up getting a massive paycheck at the end of it. Like it's brilliant. Like
Dan, who would you say has been the best Watford manager in your lifetime?
Who's the one who got you to the FA Cup final?
Yeah, whoever that is.
Javi Gracia.
Yeah, well, him.
More managers have had dinners in the last 20 odd years. Jesus Christ.
Wouldn't it be the manager with the
Or
most
Sanchez
trophies?
Flores.
Nah, Sanchez, that was terrible football. That was
You know what's
poor
funny?
football.
Watford, I remember there was a
I can
time
tell you who the
Watford-
worst manager is. Roy
to wait,
Hodgson.
hold
Roy
Yeah.
Hodgson is the worst manager
Right.
I've seen at Watford.
Do you remember
He's
when
quite,
Watford
he's
were
quite
like
ill right now.
10
He's quite
Yeah, I
sick.
was ill
You're
watching
hitting
his
the man
football.
when he's down.
I was
man.
ill watching his football. He relegated us to Crystal Palace and shook their fans' hands and walked down the tunnel. It's like an inside job.
And
Do
they
you remember
went
when
to them a
Watford
year
were
later,
10 points
didn't
up,
they?
10 points clear in the champs, and then they decided to bottle it and lose out on us winning a trophy because they were too complacent and going on
That was
holiday?
that's some moron that ran on the pitch against. That was like what? 10, I think that was 10 years ago this year, maybe. Yeah, it was.
I actually don't know. I don't
That's
know whether
terrible.
you got promoted to the Prem before
Yeah, we
that.
finished
you were 10
second.
points clear.
Bournemouth won the league in the
So
93rd minute. Nuihu or whatever, Ituihu, I don't know, some Sheffield Wednesday reject. I suppose I just wanted to, I don't get my Watford minute anymore because we're mid-table fodder in the Championship. We are the
You should get 30 seconds in League One when you get down.
Get 10
It's
seconds.
halves every time you go down.
Yeah.
Would you play worse football than Man United? Because that's quite hard.
Honestly, if we played Man United, it would be the shittest game of football. And Man United, Watford, Man United tend to be good fixtures, but it would be my last two brain cell fighting me. It would be that.
Dan, do you want to get
He wouldn't step down again. I'll take him.
Man United have got players. Murray Forson. You could take him.
Yeah,
you can have Nketiah, you can have
Chavez, we'd take Ahmad. We tried to sign him in January.
No, it's because he's
Take
too
Conor Gallagher
loyal
as well.
He's too loyal, Dan, to Sunderland.
That's,
but again, if you're in League One, then he doesn't have to be loyal to Sunderland.
I think that brings us to the end of the episode. As I said, I just wanted to get it off my chest. So, Gino, thanks for coming. Sell the club.
Quick shout out to Harry Kane. He's the greatest player in the history of football when a manager is about to be sacked. Hat-trick on the weekend. If you look at his stats in the Bundesliga, it's a joke, and he's not going to win the league.
So, congratulations, Harry Kane. See you later, Gino. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.